Welcome to the KIYS Radio Network. This is a KISS Radio Network production. And now, the KISS News.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly, Renee.
And we're back on the air with, well, this is the
Are
first
you
time.
sure? Did we push all the right buttons?
I have no idea. I got computers everywhere in this new studio, and this is the KIYS Radio Network.
Woohoo! We are in our new home.
We are in we'll just say the Bay Area. I like to say live from San Francisco.
Does that mean we're in the witness protection plan? We're not supposed to tell anybody exactly where we are?
Don't tell anybody where we are.
We're in a small box somewhere in San Jose. But it's no longer our garage.
No, it is not our garage, and it's going to get hot underneath these lights, especially because I'm wearing a black shirt today, because when we did that
have to say... Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I was going to say, because when we did the other one, I was in a gray shirt.
Good job. You listened.
And since we have a camera up there, and we actually...
I give you...
Give me what?
Sugar cookies for that, for wearing the wrong thing.
Yeah, if only they were sugar cookies, we'd all be happy.
Well,
that's for sure.
That was just a new play on words.
Was it?
Oh, sugar cookies.
Were you from the Midwest or something?
No, but I'm going to pretend.
Oh my gosh, I got snowed in the Midwest a while back too, but
yeah, it was cold out there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what was that polar vortex coming down? I'm not exactly sure where that came from.
I don't know, but it was frightening. There was a funny post on Facebook where it showed all the different states, and it was F this and F that, and then in California it said LOL.
Is that F for frankly?
No, frightening.
Oh, frightening. Okay, is that what it was? I like that.
Right?
Yes, that works. That works for me. Well, what we're going to have to do with this new program, because we're broadcasting over Blog Talk Radio, and by the end of the month, we're kind of tweaking the shows here. So please,
not twerking, tweaking.
No, we don't twerk here. We don't have room.
Here.
We got computers everywhere, as you can see if you're watching on the video.
Don't look.
But yeah, we're trying to tweak the show and get it all set up for really a February launch. So if you're listening right now.
For February launch, but we're launching today.
We are launching today, but we really want to launch onto our station because we have the KIYSradio.com.
Gotcha. I understand.
So what we're doing now is we're just the first few shows we're gonna broadcast over Blog Talk Radio, which we're going to continue to do.
Okay.
And then we'll be streaming from there to our show live. And because we're on Blog Talk Radio, we'll be able to take callers finally.
I can't wait till we can take callers.
Yes, and we can take up to 200 callers an hour. So I hope the phone lines start ringing.
I wish my own cell phone would take that kind of calling action. That would be
you'd be
fun.
paying. You're paying enough for your cell phone bill now, I think. But
but it just rings about every 6 hours, and I'm like, that's it.
Well, that's because you're always texting, or what's the other thing? Mishmashing. What's the other thing? Flash dancing.
Excuse me?
Flish tanking.
Oh, the little ghost.
No, on your phone. The thing on your phone.
Yes. The app?
App, yes.
Okay. The little white ghost that I go Snapchatting.
That's a yellow ghost.
Whatever. It's
okay,
a white ghost
yellow?
Is
it yellow on your phone, or because everybody Snapchats?
Want to
Even
arm wrestle this out? I'll tell you what
fine.
it is.
That's fine. I actually had one of my youngest daughters, our youngest daughters.
Hold on, I was a part of that
yes,
equation.
Yes, you were. She said, "Oh, I'm so proud of you for Snapchat."
I know. You finally grew up and became a big kid.
Yeah. Well,
good for you.
You know, when you get to be somewhere past 28, like I am.
Are you still saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
29 forever.
Okay.
That's my next birthday, 29.
He cannot shop at that store that I do, the 21.
Yeah. What is
Forever
it?
21.
Forever 21. Every time I walk in there, I'm like, I got a mullet again. It's awesome. Did you ever have a mullet, Doug?
No.
No?
No, thank you.
Well, basically...
we can make one for you.
We can. One of the things that we are going to do with the program, because we're in this 1-hour format now.
Yay.
Isn't that great?
More time.
More time.
More friends.
More friends, more time.
More talk.
Well, we always had, we always ran out of time. I mean, a half hour really goes fast.
It does.
And we did try doing an hour test one time, and that's our news. But we're going to do the news first every show.
We're winging it.
So if you're watching this on video, you'll be seeing this KISS Radio. It's your show.
Unless I destroy the tapes, you won't see anything.
This wasn't It's Your Show. It's coming up now.
It's your show, and it's your life. Direct it to unfold however you desire. And now your hosts for It's Your Show, Alexandrew and Shelly Renee.
Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee.
And Shelly's all confused about what's going on.
I'm completely confused.
By the way, this is It's Your Show because you're the director.
And this is your life.
That's right. See, this is what we're talking about with the program. We have to go to network, and when we go to network, there's 5 minutes of news. And since we're only on Blog Talk now, see, the idea is that first 5 minutes is supposed to be news, and they go, welcome to the ABC affiliate K569, and we're going to It's Your Show after that, and that's where all that came from.
Okay, you can just explain that to me later.
Yeah, well, basically, it's like the show goes on at 5 after the hour, or the half hour, because we're on a 3:30 program. Does that make sense?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, we used to do a radio show. You remember that?
Yes,
that for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And we had
to
come in.
TV show before that.
Yes, and we had to come in 2 minutes or 3 minutes after the hour because there was news at the top of the hour.
Yes.
Okay. That's what it is. So when we do this, we got to have this news thing going on. And since we didn't really have any news, well, we did.
Oh, so nobody got to hear all the fun we just had?
No, they did.
Oh.
They did hear it.
A few of them.
Yes. Can you understand why? Is my face red right now? My blood pressure's rising slowly. I've been sitting here in the studio since probably about Monday trying to get everything ready for this first show after, what, a year and a half?
I showed up 15 minutes ago.
Yeah,
what do you want?
I go, can you at least get to the studio a couple hours early? She's like, sure. She calls me at 5 after 3, 25 minutes before the show. You want to come down and get the ladder? You can come get the ladder.
This is why we're the X Factor.
That's right. You wonder. But we still get along and have fun.
Oh, high five.
High five. X Factor. There we go.
All good.
Yeah. Anyway, so if that was confusing to you, it was supposed to be.
Dude, it gets better.
It does. It actually does get better. I mean, we're going to have
Today's show is going to be really good.
Yeah, because we have a great guest in the studio.
We do. We have Dr. Doug with us today.
Doug Desaultels, and I'm almost got that down, don't I?
Oh, you do.
I
Sounds
do.
Great, yeah.
Well, he was one of our favorite guests on the program that we had.
Well, he's my
ago.
hero, just because he helped me 4 years ago with a bunch of these types of issues, and it made a huge difference in my life. So to have him continue to speak to the public, to me, is huge, because he helps so many.
No, and I think that's great. I think that the reason that we had him on the show before, and he was so popular, was because he had answers to what a lot of people didn't understand. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later.
Good.
Does that work?
That's fine.
But first, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Oh, yeah, we are in the new year of
We're
2014
in the new year, 2014. We're launching with a new show. It's your show.
Did you know that the new year, of course, we just celebrated the new year, but I went and had my nails done by this Vietnamese family.
How unusual. You had your nails done.
I did, all 10 of them. Bop you over the head with a hammer.
I have 19.
Nails?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's not 19, dear. That's 9. You have 9
But
and
I
a half
have
fingers.
toenails. I have toenails, too.
Oh, I don't even talk about those.
Boy, this is confusing. The X Factor strikes again. Anyway, go ahead with your story.
Anyway, so I just had an interesting conversation this afternoon, speaking of New Year's, because we celebrate the typical United States New Year's, right? And my nail person, why are you giving that little tight little
The United States New Year's. That's what we're doing. I mean, New Year's does kind of happen around the world, by the way. Just saying.
Well, yeah, because we're all on the same calendar. I get it.
Okay,
However, there are different celebrations.
Yes. You're
okay.
Right. Right.
And so, do you know when the Chinese New Year's is?
31st.
Yay, Dr. Doug.
Well, Doug knows that because he studied in China or something, didn't you?
No.
No, I thought you were like some kind of
Chinese,
kung fu.
Can't you tell?
Oh no.
Yeah, you need my last name, Lee. That'll help you. I should have known that.
Anyway, I was just explaining that if you live in the Bay Area, if you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, if you go out to San Francisco to see the Chinese New Year's parade, it is phenomenal.
It is really cool.
I went about 2 years ago, and I was blown away. One of the things I thought was so cool was these women that were actually in these fancy dresses and in stilts. And for those of you ladies out there that have walked in high heels in any streets of San Francisco, that's a feat in itself. Now try to do it in stilts.
No pun intended. That's a feat in itself. You are funny, honey. Oh, sorry. Couldn't resist.
You're catching on.
I am. I'm listening. See? That's the different thing about this show.
Finally.
I'm listening.
Somebody else is going to get to enjoy that.
Oh,
Yay.
there we go.
Okay.
I wonder who that could
be.
Ow. Just hit myself in the mouth with the microphone.
Hold on. Do you want to tug on your earlobe to say hello?
Sure.
Like Carol Burnett did?
I can't because it's covered by a headset.
Anyway.
I got to move my chair.
Just saying that the parade is fantastic. It is a beautiful thing. Get there early. It gets extremely packed. And these women that were on stilts in these beautiful dresses, I got to hand it to them because just doing it in high heels on any given day, on any given street, is difficult enough. But to do it during a parade at night on a slant in San Francisco, I was impressed.
I would say that's almost a yard instead of just a foot. A feet. Love. Okay. I guess I kind of suck at this whole comedy thing. It's a foot. We're a foot here in San Francisco. Maybe that would have been better. Anyway. Maybe not. So anyway, I was stranded in the Midwest during this whole vortex thing, this polar vortex. I tell you what, minus 32 degrees. I didn't think that you could tell the difference between -1 and minus 32, but you can. I mean, -1's darn cold, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, minus 32 is freezing.
If you had gum in your mouth and you went to blow a bubble outside, what would happen?
It would freeze, and
as you were blowing
it, and they'd probably burst and shatter into a million pieces. In fact, some people were blowing bubbles out, and they'd freeze and drop on the ground and just sit there. But I was watching this one newscast because my sister's ex is a newscaster, and he was doing this video in Minneapolis, and they took a cup of hot water from inside. She filled up her coffee cup, ran outside, threw it into the air, and it turned into snow.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's cold. I think that was at about 33 below zero.
That sounds like one of those things they would do for that Science Guy deal.
You mean the Mythbusters kind of thing?
Well, yeah, or that, I don't know, there was some great science guy you get
Mr.
to play
Science?
with stuff. Okay, I don't remember
Weird
what it was.
science. No, it's I know it's Mythbusters, I think, is what it is. They go, and here's a myth, but it isn't a myth because you watched her do it on the air, and it was pretty weird. It just turned into snow and clouds, and some of it just floated away. It was bizarre.
The same kind of thing like when you lick your tongue on a pole and it sticks. And
when you're from the Midwest, you do not do that.
No. And
not
pole dancers don't work outdoors.
No, they certainly don't. Pole dancers, yes, with gloves.
Stick to the pole.
Yeah, they would stick to the pole. That's kind of scary. Anyway, but yeah, the Midwest is awesome. I mean, I love the people there. I haven't been home for Christmas in probably 20. I think my mother was telling me 25 years.
No,
24
we went
years.
there one time with the kids.
Oh, that's right. We were there with the kids. They were 1 or 2.
They were little.
So it's about 15, 18 years. Anyway. Boy, things have changed back there. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Well, in the wintertime, it makes me realize why 33 years ago I moved to California and I haven't moved back.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the airports were closed on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right after the weekend of
I think airports are so exciting because it means that either you're meeting somebody you love, or you're getting rid of somebody you love, or you're going somewhere you love.
Am I included in that? I don't know. I don't know if I like that one. No, airports are fun though. Great, great fun. We're going to be right back with Dr. Doug after this commercial break. So stay tuned to It's Your Show.
Are you not reaching your full potential? Do you feel that something's missing in your day-to-day world? Create a happier life experience by manifesting your desires and changing your perceptions. In author Alexandrew Lee's powerful new book, Perceptive Power with AAA Neutral, he teaches methods to find success at any stage of existence, including tapping into subconscious aspects of your mind. By following his simple outlined process, you can now excel at mental, physical, and career issues and learn methods to break negative patterns. Become comfortable with who you are at your core. Be aware, be accountable, and take action. You can adjust your life experience to a happier, higher frequency. Find out how today.
Pick up your copy today at www.aaaneutral.com.
Want to move to the next level in your financial career? Are you a financial planner with at least 2 years of experience? Money Concepts is offering an opportunity to work with one of the most established financial planning organizations in the world. Call 408-262-0159.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee. We're the perfect complement to your cup of joe. We have some great guests like Pamela.
But her name's Pamela, honey.
Well, she was a hand reader, so it works for me.
Hey, you know what? We got other great guests, too, about health, wealth, and families.
We open your mind and get you thinking out of the box.
Yes, because it's all about the show. You're the director.
And this is your life.
Welcome back to It's Your Show with your hosts, Alexandrew and Shelly Renee.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee.
And we're here once a week. And you know what that music means?
Tell me.
Okay, this is part of the template that we're doing today. This is where we have our Money Minute Plus. Hold on just a sec. Got to introduce him. Here we go. I like that music, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I dig it.
Okay, so then it fades out. So what that is that's... What?
No, keep going. You're doing great.
Listen, I've been working hard on this show to get the template down and then, Anyway, the idea is that's the Money Minute Plus. So we're going to have a financial advisor that goes over just some basic concepts. Okay. How to roll over your 401k or, how to protect your retirement plan or what to do with long-term care. And it's only going to be about a 3 or 4 minute segment.
Good to know for the new year.
Right. So usually in the show, right after that first segment, which sounds like the second segment because we did the news in the first segment, which people heard, but they didn't. Anyway.
The Abbott Costello routine?
Yes. Who's on first?
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, so anyway, that's just why that music came up. So we're going to have a financial thing. We're going to have a call in. We're going to have our guests like Doug. And we have to thank Doug for being our guinea pig here on the first show.
Oh, he's such a good sport.
I know, but we're going to get some good video and some good radio clips to get out of it to put on the website.
Get him some headshots. Get him some dates.
Yeah, there you go. Do you need a date?
No.
Okay.
I'm teasing him.
But anyway, that's kind of the way the format of the show is going to go. And then there'll be about 4 minutes on this little financial thing. And then we have one of our sponsors that will be talking about something else after that. But today, we had so much information in the first couple shows that we did. Is this your third time here?
I think so. Or 4.
Oh, you did the TV show, too.
So it's
oh, my gosh. You've been with us for about 4 or 5 years, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
like family.
Isn't he? He is. Well, actually, you've been a chiropractor for probably what?
Since 2001.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Of course he knows. He's got the files.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow, that's 12 years.
I don't know you any money, do I?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I don't. I don't think I do. Oh, we're exes now. I don't. Anyway. Anyway, yeah. So we wanted to touch base and expand on what we had talked about in the last radio program, which was probably a little over almost 2 years ago now.
And still a hot topic.
It is. It's a very hot topic. You see it all over Facebook and that kind of thing. But GMO. Yeah,
GMOs. I think just for those people that out there don't know and they just hear the buzzword, what is GMO?
Well, GMO is basically the insertion of different species genes into another species. So basically today what I'll be talking about is more or less food GMOs, such as corn, soy, tomatoes, potatoes, and again, BT would be Bacillus thuringiens, and that is a bacteria that's inserted into they say, for instance, a soybean or a tomato or anything like that. And what it does is it gives the ability of that vegetable or fruit to produce its own insecticides, pesticides within its own framework. So it becomes pest resistant basically in the field. Also, that is done with herbicides, what is called Roundup Ready. And Roundup Ready means that it's producing its own Roundup. Basically to ward off, it's not producing its own Roundup. It's actually resistant to Roundup, so you can spray more Roundup on the field without having to worry about killing your plants.
Oh.
It's supposed to be higher yield. It's supposed to be healthier for you. And none of this seems to be panning out to be true.
Well, they were talking about high-yield wheat or high-yield short wheat or something, I think, is what they were working on in the 60s or 70s. I read some article about that.
Yeah, that's more of a hybridization, right. I think.
But they didn't know much about what they were doing, and we're starting to think that's where a lot of that gluten intolerance go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you're seeing this since our show last year. Are you seeing this expand more and more?
Well, yes. There was Proposition 37 last year, and that was an interesting proposition. In California, Monsanto, the Monsanto company, which is a biotech company that had developed basically BT, spent $43 million or something like that to make sure that Proposition 37 did not pass through with a yes, and that would have made people label GMO products. Repeat
what you said about Prop 37, why you think it didn't pass.
Well, Prop 37, Monsanto wasn't contending that in this proposition that GMOs are either good for you or bad for you in any way. What they were saying is that that if Prop 37 passed through and they had to label GMO products, that would raise the grocery bills. It would cause more lawsuits, and farmers and small businesses would suffer. It would be bad for them. Simply panned out to not be true at all, and it's not the way it occurred in other situations.
But people bought into that idea.
People bought into that. Well, they bought into it for $43 million or something like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to put into a campaign where you're trying to, not label something. And, of course, we have to label everything else. All the ingredients and all the products that are on the shelves nowadays have to be listed in order of concentration, basically. And it's that demanding, by the FDA and things like, and such things like that, to not label GMOs seems to be a ridiculous notion in itself.
Totally agree with you. I have a question. You don't know that I'm about to bring this out right now.
Oh, no.
My gosh. How she said that kind of scares me here. Thank gosh we're not on the air. We're just on the Internet.
Okay, this is not the first time I've come across something this size, by the way. When I go shopping at the grocery store, sometimes I find something like this.
Uh-huh.
You were married to me for 21 years.
This to me is not a normal sized banana. And it might have even been a little bit larger 3 weeks ago, but I think it shrinks once it's out on the counter. I was afraid to eat it. It actually kind of worried me. How can I tell as a consumer when I'm looking at grapes in certain places or bananas, how do I know that this hasn't been messed with and has been crossed with an elephant or something?
There's a lot that's not a genetically it's probably not organic either, though. I mean, so
it's lasted for 3 weeks and has barely gone bad.
That's interesting because usually when that might have been irradiated, and irradiation kills off the enzymes that auto-digest the food after a while. After it starts to go bad, that's really actually a piece of fruit was auto-digestion. And then the bacteria come in as opportunistic type of organisms after that and eat the thing up. And then you think the bacteria does it. But actually it's auto-digestion by the activation of enzymes under certain pH circumstances.
So would that be a genetically modified banana, do you think?
I don't think so.
No, it's just a big banana.
It's a big banana.
I just got lucky and found a big one.
It's a big banana.
Yes, that is. Yeah, that's pretty huge. I'm telling you.
Okay. So other than that, then, any other things that I would look for to be able to determine, just labeling?
Yeah, actually what you're looking at, mainly what you want to look for is organic, because organic means, unless there's basically cross-pollination. Organic means that is probably non-GMO. Actually, what the best thing would be is to actually have labels that say this product is non-GMO. It would make it easier for everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back after this commercial break, and it's really going to be a commercial break.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Listen for the voice. That would be mine. Hi there, Alexandrew from It's All About the Show. You know, taking care of your body is more about what you put into it than anything else. Of course, physical and mental exercise and cleanliness are important, but the fuel you use to keep your blood flowing, your cells replenishing, and your teeth white and strong is the key to longevity and living a happy, healthy life. There's so much crap in our food out there these days with all the chemicals and hormones and toxins. We all need to be aware of what our food intake is. It's no wonder that obesity is a problem in America. When we start our kids out on crappy food because we're in a hurry or on a budget, it compounds over the years to become an obesity or other type of a health problem. Isagenix offers you the opportunity to supplement pure superfood to your diet. The most natural and purest ingredients with no chemicals, hormones, or preservatives are added to keep the fuel you put into your body as perfect as it can be. Just go to alexandrew.isagenix.com and check it out. That's ALEXANDREW, Alexandrew, just as it sounds, .ISAGENIX. That's Isagenix with an X.com. And check out what pure, real superfood will make you feel like. Hi there, my name's Andrew Lee. I'm the Regional Director for Money Concepts International here in the San Francisco Bay, Monterey area. You know, I've been with Money Concepts since 1994. And Money Concepts is the main reason that I've been successful in my wealth management business. You know, Money Concepts is like a family of financial advisors. We're an international firm. We use a resource team approach. If I have any questions about something outside my specialty, which is tax efficiency, I can either talk to some of the reps locally, nationally, or internationally to get the answers I need. The back office support staff is second to none. And the tools we have are amazing to be able to put together financial plans for our clients. So if you're looking to add a great firm to your financial planning practice, take a look at Money Concepts and give me a call.
Welcome back to It's Your Show with your hosts, Alexandrew and Shelly Renee.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee.
And we're here every week with It's Your Show because you're the director.
And this is your life.
Did you like how I was scrambling for commercials for the template?
This is constructive chaos is what this is.
Well, it is. And it's very constructive, but that was a TV commercial I did back when I was on Rob Black back in like 2004.
So apparently you know what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for about 20 years as a financial advisor. Hey, that works. But I'd have to say, I mean, putting this show together was a little bit of a feat because we do have our segments. And we record. We're here to help small businesses, right? We were talking about that. Help them get on the air, actually do their own radio show. We have several people that are going to be doing their half-hour show or one-hour show. I'd like to have Doug do at least a regular segment on health. Would that be great?
Excellent.
That'd be nice.
Excellent
or
idea.
something like that. But yeah, anyway, I think once we get out there and start to be able to help these folks, you know, get on the air and do it professionally and have this thing down like we should, you know, we're gonna have a really good program and a lot of interesting people.
I know,
so
we're fine.
We're talking about GMOs though, and you do speeches and stuff on this lectures, I guess is what you call it, and here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you're local, don't you have something coming up?
Yeah, at next Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'm having what I would call a clean gut program. I'm going to show explain to people how and why pathology arises from the gut. And the dysfunction of the gut is very important because autoimmune diseases come from that, cardiac disease comes from that, brain fog, anxiety, depression, all of those things kind of originate in the gut first, and then they go to place of residing. So
Have you actually ever seen anybody get stop being able to or stop having to take anti-anxiety medication and stuff just by changing their diet?
Absolutely. I've heard of many stories, and I've had it happen in my office also, yes.
And it's really interesting, too, because you don't see the medical field in general unless you have a holistic type of a practitioner. And, of course, the drug companies don't want to have, anything to do with, hey, might be something natural and we don't have a patent on it.
Right.
But to kind of go back and think that all of this really evolves around what we put in our bodies. The old saying, the body is the temple. You take care of that. And if we're starting to put stuff that our body doesn't recognize, let alone actually generates a something that doesn't even allow insects to eat it.
Right.
I mean, think about it. If I'm eating it and it's going to kill, I don't know if it does it kill insects or just keeps them from repels them or something.
Well, it repels them, because they probably aren't going to eat the plant. As soon as they take their first bite, they're going to go, oh, this is going to make me sick, right?
Right.
And that's what humans should do and do also when they eat genetically modified food.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's the long term? What do you know about long-term effects from eating GMO type foods?
Well, we don't really understand the long-term effects. The signs and symptoms of people like with lethargy, depression, autoimmune diseases
probably exacerbates it.
It actually adds to the problem by creating havoc in the gut itself, and we're going to, I think, talk about that later also.
Yes, and I've got my own experience with that, so I know what he's talking about.
Well, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Oh, do we have time?
Sure, we have plenty of time. Yes,
okay.
We do.
Well, do you have something that you want to say before I just kind of chime in what I went through with you?
Oh, no, you can go ahead. I'm...
So my story, and I'll just do it in like 60 seconds or less. I was going through a lot of symptoms. Everything from dry eyes to sore joints to small rashes on my elbow or my back, hair loss, so many things that seemed very typical. And every single doctor I ever spoke to said, it's normal, you're in your mid-40s, you're under stress. But intuitively, I knew something else. And eventually, somebody suggested I have this ANA test, which, long story short, they came back and told me I had lupus. The room spun when I heard that. And I went to Dr. Doug because he's my chiropractor. And I said, hey, so guess what? I found out what's going on with me. And he said, you have lupus. I said, how did you know that? And he goes, I had an intuitive thought behind that, but that's not what you have, and I have something else I want you to do. So Dr. Doug actually took me through a path of changing my diet, going through a blood test program where I had to eliminate about 60 things for about a year because I was really good about it. And let me just tell you, not having ketchup on French fries and tomatoes in just about everything, which is something I took away for 2 years.
You were very good about that, the whole food thing, and you were really frustrated the first 3 months.
It was scary. It was actually really scary because I didn't know what lupus and everything else meant. Anyway, followed the program. Tomatoes are one of those things, I think you would agree, that are highly genetically modified in a lot of cases.
They stopped genetically modifying those in about 96.
Okay, well...
Yeah. Wow. Well, does that mean there's heirloom seeds? It's hard to find them, though, isn't it?
They stopped genetically modifying because they tasted like cardboard.
Well, I must have found every cardboard one around. But long story short, I did eliminate the rest of the other stuff, which at the same time was also wheat and dairy issues, which I know those do have the connections to. And after 2.5, almost 3 years, or maybe almost the 4th year, I went back and did the testing again. Yeah. And by your recommendation, it came up negative. A negative ANA. So I no longer had lupus, as they said.
Which is incurable, supposedly.
It's supposedly
Yes. However, when I do cheat on those particular foods or I do dabble in the places I shouldn't, boy, there's an immediate reaction. So that's why I think what you share and what you've studied is so incredibly important because I've personally lived it. Yeah. And I can still test it anytime I want.
We call those toxic triggers. Those foods are toxic triggers, and they instigate an immune reaction every time you eat them. And so that immune reaction causes inflammation in the blood, and then it causes the other specific things that raise your ANA and do other things like C-reactive protein or erythrocyte sedimentation rate.
So women that might think they have fibromyalgia or arthritis potentially could be related to foods they're eating?
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Because I meet a lot of women that think they have these things going on with them.
If it's the autoimmune type, if it's a DJD, degenerative joint disease, it's basically just an overuse syndrome. That can be influenced also by what you eat. because it can create more inflammation and that will express it more, so to speak.
Well, it makes sense because when you're putting stuff into your body that your body then processes and pushes all these energetic bioflavonoids and vitamins, I'm trying to be cool here, and all that kind of stuff, right, into your system, if it's coming, thanks. If it's coming from a bad source, I mean, it's like putting bad gasoline in your car.
Yeah,
because it's an energy source that keeps us.
Well, a lot of vitamins are made out of petroleum products, so
right.
Really?
So that can very well, and if it's made out of genetically modified stuff, it actually will be in there also.
So tell me a little bit about your lecture this week coming up, and what types of things are you going to be touching on?
What I'm going to touch on how the gut directly produces an environment of disease formation for autoimmune diseases, cardiac disease, and especially brain diseases. And I'm going to show people what they can do to prevent that environment. And that's very important over a long period of time because you eat food every single day. So you should know what you're eating. If it's creating an immune reaction, is going to eventually express in some sort of disease or imbalance that's going to show signs and symptoms in the outcome.
When you talk about something affecting the brain, can you go as far as to say dementia or Alzheimer's? Have you seen any of that?
I would recognize Alzheimer's as a plaque formation, amyloid plaque formation. That actually is produced over time through insulin spikes of people eating simple sugars or easily digestible carbohydrates. Those insulin spikes preoccupy an enzyme called ADE, or it's called IDE, insulin degrading enzyme, and that has a secondary responsibility of actually eating up those amyloid plaques. And if it's completely preoccupied with high levels of insulin, it can't eat up the amyloid plaques, and you get Alzheimer's in later days. That's the new theory, and I think I pretty much agree with it.
Does that have anything to do with aluminum? Because they say that aluminum tends.
Well, I mean, aluminum can inhibit the liver, and I think that maybe that's a better way of looking at it. It's a heavy metal that causes a detox overload, so to speak. And that may, in essence, create the Alzheimer's environment also, contribute to it, so to speak. But, the studies that were done don't seem to show that it's a direct causative effect.
So the GMOs that they have, whatever it is, I know they started with corn years and years ago and whatever. They got patents on these things. Now, I just came from Indiana, and there's a lot of the local people who talk about these corporations saying you have to plant, this type of seed. Now, I mean, to me, I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if you have a heirloom type of a farm? My understanding is it's not looked very kindly on by the agricultural institutions, if you will, and they really want them to be able to have to buy this seed, which, by the way, what I recall, and I remember you saying from the last show, it doesn't reproduce itself.
Yeah,
so
those are Terminator seeds, and the Terminator seed was sold by mainly, I think, Monsanto. And what it did is it doesn't have usually people that are growing crops take seeds from that crop and they plant their next crop the next year, but they can no longer do that with the Terminator seed because it's not viable. It's not a viable growing seed after the first season. It basically is just a useless bean, so to speak. You might as well. Well, you won't eat it, but
which
throw it out.
Which again comes back to the fact if you got a food that doesn't even reproduce itself, or it can't reproduce itself, how good can it be? And I think
I think that's on purpose, though. I think they did that on purpose so they can contract people to buy every year. Right. So they're under contract, and also with the use of the herbicide, Roundup Ready, that same company sells the herbicides that these farms would be using, and so they're required through the contract to buy that herbicide.
It's kind of like AutoShip.
Company. Yeah, AutoShip.
AutoShip every year you get your new seed.
That's a little bit better, but
well, that's crazy. I do think that it's the body not being able to identify these things. In my thinking, that causes this leaky gut.
Exactly, and we can explain that a little bit further.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that and the patents these folks have on these things and how they affect us. So stay tuned to It's Your Show because you're the director.
And this is your life.
We'll be right back.
Imagine if you had a magic wand and could go back in time. Before you worshipped the sun as a teenager, before hormones kicked in and made your skin break out that left you with acne scars. Imagine if you could wave that magic wand and in just a few days your pores were barely noticeable, your skin tone was amazingly even and soft, and wrinkles were minimizing before your eyes. Imagine waking up and not only feeling 10 years younger, but looking it. Worried this is just a dream and not reality? Well, it is a reality. Beauty Society Anti-Aging Skincare puts the magic wand in your hands to do all these things and more. They use the highest level of active medical-grade ingredients available without a prescription. Beauty Society is so sure you'll love the results, they back all their skincare products with an unheard-of 12-month money-back guarantee. This is Shelly Renee with It's All About the Show, and I had that magic wand placed in my hand over 4 years ago, and I want to pass it along to you. Call me for a free skincare consultation and facial valued at $125 and see instant results for yourself. Let me be your youth fairy and make the dream of 5 to 10 years off of your skin a reality. Now imagine your friends or your spouse asking, "Why do you look so radiant and young?" And you smile and simply say, "It's Beauty Society." Call me today, Shelly Renee, at 408-945-0491. That's 408-945-0491. Or visit ShellyRenee.com and click on the Beauty Society logo. Let's do some magic.
Want to move to the next level in your financial career? Are you a financial planner with at least 2 years of experience? Money Concepts is offering an opportunity to work with one of the most established financial planning organizations in the world. Call 408-262-0159.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee. We're the perfect complement to your cup of joe. We have some great guests like Pamela.
But her name's Pamela, honey.
Well, she was a hand reader, so it works for me.
Hey, you know what? We got other great guests, too, about health, wealth, and families.
We open your mind to get you thinking out of the box.
Yes, because it's all about the show. You're the director.
And this is your life.
Welcome back to It's Your Show with your hosts, Alexandrew and Shelly Renee.
Hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name is Alexandrew.
And I'm Shelly Renee.
And we're back with It's Your Show, our first show because you're the director.
And this is your life.
Yes, it's our first 1 hour format.
It is, and we have a great guest with us.
We do. We always love having Doug. He's been a guest for years and years and years.
Yeah, I love to pick his brain. This man is a very intelligent man. I love how he does thorough homework. And so what we just kind of left with was a little bit on GMOs and just bringing people up to speed on that. One of the things that you mentioned earlier that I wanted to bring you back to was brain fog. Because I think a lot of people, they just assume they're tired or they need caffeine or, they're just stressed. And is there a correlation? What can you tell me about the brain fog that you brought up and the correlation with GMOs?
Yeah, okay. Brain fog, depression, anxiety are basically conditions of neurotransmitter deficiencies a lot of times. First, if you have lethargy, I actually check the adrenal glands first. I check the endocrine system, the thyroid, things like that. And that, once ruled out, actually guides us in a better direction or a more specific direction. And I would actually look to the gut because about 90% of the transmitters, especially one that we would call serotonin, which is our feel-good neurotransmitters, and that's what all the drugs are about, Prozac, Zoloft.
Right.
These drugs are serotonin reuptake inhibitors, basically. And what that means is in the synaptic cleft in the brain, and that's what the odd part about it is that the medical establishment tends to focus on the brain as where this deficiency is taking place, and it is simply not. It's in the gut where 90% of these neurotransmitters are made.
It's the furnace heating it up, and you're screwing it up by burning crap in your furnace.
Yeah, and if you and GMO, with the herbicides and the pesticides and things like that come with the situation after you consume those foods can destroy the gut's ability basically to produce enough of these neurotransmitters. And without those neurotransmitters, you don't have a feel-good mechanism. You can't look at the light side of life. You can't. It's very hard to smile and laugh, and unless you're faking it.
Can you say if somebody were to embrace the ideas that you're talking about and want to clean their gut, how soon do you think that they would feel the lifting of this fog?
That depends on your age. That depends on your health status, basically, as it is your endocrine system and your neurological system. How clear your nerves are actually communicating with, cranial nerve 10 communicating.
Could some
with
people notice it within 2 weeks, or is it going to take months?
I think you would notice it within 2 weeks, but I think it would just keep getting better and better. I mean, that's my experience. It just keeps progressively getting better the more you clean stuff out of your gut that shouldn't be there.
Well, and you need to exercise too,
exactly.
your mind, and that's the thing. As we get older too, we start to retire and kind of not think as much. Like, my parents, when I was out there for the holidays, they were playing crossword puzzles every day. They do that, and my dad's got the dance machine thing where you step on the buttons, and he's 85 years old, and he stands there and he plays that dance machine. But again, that's working the mind. I would say, being that a lot of this can be caused by that. If you don't start clearing up with that fog thing, that you may want to seek some additional help, because it may not just be the fog. I have several friends over the last several years that ended up with this brain cancer thing that seems to be coming up quite so much more frequently. I almost have to wonder about the cell phone thing.
Yeah, it might be electromotive force from cell phones, computers contributing to that, because there's.
Hold on, I have to take a call.
Of course you do. Well, and that's the thing. The doctor I was talking to, the brain surgeon, said they're starting to see a fairly rapid increase of tumors around the ear of people. So, you almost have to wonder. I pretty much always...
This is the new cell phone.
Shelly's putting one of her bananas up to her ear.
So you can get those magnetic field blockers.
I just got one for Christmas. I put it on my phone.
You think they actually work? Those are legit?
Yeah, they're legit. And also, you can also put your phone more or less on speakerphone a lot more than you do.
Yeah,
and that's what I do. I mean, I rarely talk with my phone up against my ear.
Well, they say even with the earphones, with the wired earphones, you get a little bit of energy.
You still do.
Up there.
And
actually, not as much
people say more.
Really?
And I don't know how that works.
Gosh, I sure hope not, because I talk on those earplugs all the time. I got rid of my Bluetooth thinking that the Bluetooth might have an issue with it, but you just never know. It's like, in essence, not only you're a guinea pig here on the show today, but we've been guinea pigs through the 70s and 80s with all of this technology as it changes with the GMOs, and the cell phones becoming smaller and smaller. Soon enough, they'll put a chip in they're already talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But I think this GMO thing is huge. Now, can you just tell the audience again where you're speaking and what the time is and what they need to do to get a hold?
I'm going to be speaking on and I will brush on this subject matter in the lecture itself. I plan on being an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it's at 6 o'clock next Wednesday, the 22nd, at my office at 960 Saratoga Road, Suite 112. You can give me a call at 408-375-4151 if you want to RSVP. That would be great.
Say that a little slower for the rest of us.
408-375-4151. That's my phone number. So give that a call, because it looks like I'm going to have quite a crowd there already, possibly. So I don't know how many are actually confirmed, but now I just saw that there were a bunch of people that responded today.
Can I get a pre-lecture adjustment before that?
Pre-lecture adjustment,
possible?
Yes. I think it's, I don't know how much that costs.
Full price. Yeah, full price.
If people, if they happen to be listening and they're out of state, will there be any other way to hear this information from you?
Yes, I'm going to be doing lectures, and I'm going to be on this show. I'm assuming. And I will come up with more good information for us to digest and keep studying, keep working on this stuff.
Digest. I like that. I am sharp today. Feet and digest.
Apparently, he is one of the sharpest tools in.
Hey, I've been practicing. I've been doing my dance machine at home, or whatever it is you can dance. But yeah, we wanted to. Talk a little bit more about these patents and how these companies really are making money off of these patents. And you can't patent something that's natural. So why can't we just get back to our organic myself, I mean, I'm just thinking about it now. I mean, I'd like to buy an acre or 2 acres up in the mountains and just start growing my own stuff.
Right.
Because I just had a tangerine again today. Those tangellos in the backyard, they're awesome, and they're all organic. Yeah, it tastes great.
And I covered those bad boys with a sheet during the last freeze.
They're awesome. They are awesome.
Well, nutrients, they've done studies, and I don't really think they hold a lot of water, but they say that organic food it has about the same nutrition as inorganic. I mean, food that's grown with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, whatever. And I think that may be true, but I think there's more polyphenols and enzymes in those foods, and that's one of the things they really didn't test. They're testing B complex, they're testing, vitamin A, vitamin C, E, D, whatever. And I think really what we're looking at as far as organics goes is because that plant is stronger because it had to fight off, so it has has greater levels of antioxidants in it, has greater levels of other things in it. The enzymes, especially enzymes, digestive enzymes, are very important, especially in GMO days.
And then part of that would be the absorption of those things in your system. Just because you take a B vitamin doesn't necessarily mean you're going to absorb it into your system if it
or be able to utilize it and assimilate it
and that's what those enzymes do, right? They help break down the proteins and get the I was going to say economic value, thinking of my financial planning hat, but the nutritional value from the food. By making it happen. It's
interesting, because in my lecture I'm going to talk about leaky gut syndrome a lot. And leaky gut syndrome is something that actually I just looked up on Wikipedia, and they're saying it doesn't have much substantial evidence to support the existence of it, and I think that's just ridiculous. Because really what this is something that's happening every single day to everybody who's taking steroids or NSAIDs, or that's anti-inflammatories of that sort, antibiotics especially, kill off the gut bacteria, create havoc in the gut, and people are not paying attention to replacing those friendly bacteria so they can have a functioning gut. So they end up being depressed, they end up having lethargy and all those other things that come from that situation.
So they call that like gut flora.
Gut flora.
Exactly. So you're getting so I've been seeing a lot more. My cousin Greg, who I have on Facebook, is really into this. He beat diabetes, the tough one to beat, with something type 2. Yeah. But anyway, he talks about fermented foods being really valuable. If you have fermented organic foods, because of the gut flora that's in there, it helps you digest and suck those nutrients into your system, burn efficiently in that furnace, so it feeds your brain, it feeds your muscles, it feeds your eyes. Yes, you in the corner.
Could you tell me what you mean by a fermented food?
Sauerkraut.
Okay.
Yeah, it's aged.
Pickles.
So it has more.
Are pickles actually
probiotics?
Not all of them, but
not all of them.
Some of them are just in a what do they call it, brine or something. But some of the pickles are not
olive.
All.
The ones you put in the Bloody
Mary? Fermented. They're going to have a little tang to it. What else?
Kimchi.
Kimchi is another fermented.
I have no idea what that is.
Cabbage, Chinese cabbage.
My
last name is Lee. I know that one. I didn't know the Chinese New Year, but I know the kimchi one.
Yeah.
Well, you might have dated her before too.
Oh, she was a nice girl. How'd you know that?
I know
that was 23 years.
I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy. But no, I think that the food that we put into our bodies is so important that we need to take a look at and this whole GMO. What's your thought on labeling GMO? I mean, we were talking about it briefly.
My thought is it's no more difficult to do than labeling whether or not there's vitamin A
but they're talking about the price,
or wheat in something, or
right.
Yeah, the pricing that's turning out to it's not true at all. It's a lie, and they know it is, and so and that's fine, and because that's what they have to do. They're
right. They're in
a
business to make money,
right? And they're in business to make money, and so they politically have come out with these things that are not showing to be true at all, and the gaps in the analysis of whether or not GMOs are good for you or not is really amazing to me, because they have the right to veto any research because they have intellectual property of the patented seeds, and this intellectual property allows them to make agreements and have research done on them, but they can pick and choose which research goes out to the public.
Right.
And that what's going to be said about their products, they pick and choose, and so they throw out about 9 out of 10 of those studies, probably even more.
Wow.
You know, and so if 9 of them are really bad, and then one of them had something good in it that they could focus on, and actually you have pre-study bias about, which would be
that's a problem with research. You know, it's never really biased because there's that human intervention thing. And we all have these little egos that we have to be,
right.
I mean, how many things we heard that's good, and then 10 years later they tell us it's bad for us, you know.
Thalidomide.
Yeah.
Stilbestrol,
Exactly.
Stilbestrol, DES, you know.
Right.
I mean,
it's all good for you.
Things,
Nothing's going to hurt you.
Yeah, it can't hurt you.
But no, so the idea is try and eat organic if you can.
Right.
Exercise, treat your body like a temple. Keep your brain clean.
Just try to keep educating yourself because there's always new information out there.
Right.
If you can, join Dr. Doug's lecture. Otherwise, we'll.
Can you give that information on the lecture here? We got about 2 or 3 minutes left.
It's 960 Saratoga Avenue, Suite 112, and that's in San Jose, 95129 in case you want to put it in the maps. And it's going to be at 6 p.m. on Wednesday the 22nd. And it should last about an hour and a half to 2 hours probably. Maybe even less. Depends on how many questions there are.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the first show. We appreciate you being with us
There
and
goes
rocking
good.
it out. This is the end. That's why.
Well, let's just go.
Shout out.
Let's do some shout outs to some friends. I want to thank Carol and Jeannie and Cricket and Mark and James and Ted and I got so many other friends out there that say they're listening. Oh, Lisa and Tanya and. Got anything?
Yeah, I got Gretchen and Hunter and Julia and Dr. Doug and Candace as usual. So we're gonna
join us on our fan page on Facebook, will you please? Because we want to give shout outs to you too, and thank you for joining us.
Buy the book. Don't forget, go to our website, KIYSradio.com. Woo.
Now go have a great week with your newfound knowledge.